Immortal. If I get on the rig, there's a way inside.
What is your name?
It's Nux. I'll pike her in the spine. Keep her breathing for you.
No. Put a bullet in her skull. Stop the rig. Return my treasures to me. And I myself will carry you to the gates of Valhalla.
Am I awaited?
You will ride eternal, shiny and chrome.
And on this, gentlemen, unbeknownst to you, our 4th anniversary show. Welcome to the Comiccitycast here on Irish Comic News and indeed on Following the Nerd. Boys, you didn't know it was our anniversary show, did you?
No.
No?
No, I received a Facebook, these things that you do on Facebook from 4 years ago today, and it said, welcome to the very first episode of the Redacted Cast, and my comments underneath it was like, please allow us some leeway whilst we sort out our technical difficulties. That leeway is now set for 4 interminable years. But here we sit, boys. How are we doing?
Doing pretty good.
Happy anniversary, boys.
Happy anniversary, gentlemen.
Happy anniversary.
And on this, the day of the 6-month anniversary of the birth of Bobby's child.
Yes! Up a Liam's.
Bobby, I don't think we've talked in sort of obtuse and abstract terms about the boy child. And indeed, he's a guest on the show at least twice. But
well, he's cried while he was in the same room as me, and I've gone.
So
I know I'm in this. Look, I know I'm his father. I know I'm his father. I know I'm in this with you. I know you can't. Just get him upstairs. Take him up the fucking stairs. Take him up the fucking stairs.
It's the other get up. The other get up them stairs.
Fucking yeah. Well, yes, he has been on the show. I'm sure I'll get him. I'm sure I'll get him to say his first words on air.
DC rules.
Yes. Yeah. No. Somebody.
Can we start a baby pool on what his first words will be?
Kiddie pool.
Kiddie pool.
It'll be da.
No.
You reckon?
It'll be da. No, it's simply. I think it's the reason the kids say da before they say ma is the da syllable is just easier to say.
Yeah, the phonemes are more accessible. True.
He can be a lot more technical about this, but yeah, essentially what he just said.
There's a friend of the show, Dr. Declan Page, PhD.
DDP.
Yeah, DDP, Dr. Declan Page. He insisted for years. Firstly, he insisted 2 things. Firstly, his firstborn child would be called Industrial Flange Unit in order to thwart social convention. But he later was rendered unable to have children via a bout of the mumps. But he was convinced that his child's first words would be vote Sinn Féin for a just and lasting settlement.
Not if the polls down here are indicating that.
Fuck me, boys. We try not to veer into politics here in the show, although we did, in the fucking greatest last moment of the show ever, which we should probably replicate someday, but we did a fantastic show about comics, politics, and went into the fucking ether. Both the UK and Ireland are in fucking bad shape at the minute, and the US, holy fuck.
Well, we don't talk about it, but announcing a general election in Ireland 4 weeks before, and only allowing 4 weeks for all parties to campaign in the current climate has caused, let me tell you, a shit fit of anger down south. Down south is ready to fucking burst at its politicians. You do not know the anger that is walking around the streets down here the last few weeks. It's been unreal.
Not being a citizen of the fucking republic, I can't really speak to that, but you can feel it residually, and I don't think I've felt such. I think maybe since the abortion referendum, it's just such fucking. You can feel the heat.
Oh, it's well, it is what it is. It's in a situation where the current government, which is a coalition government, is has been deemed after 4 years to have been woefully inadequate. Any of the existing parties that are in the current climate, I can't find it in me to support any particular party that is in place in this country at the moment, because every single one of them has failed dramatically in the last 4 years.
How much of that do you think is to do with the water debacle?
I'd say a lot of it is to do with that. I'd say a lot more of it is to do with the health system problems. The average waiting time in a hospital in Ireland now is 72 hours on a trolley before you get a bed. As somebody who has an elderly mother who has been in need of quite a lot of medical care in the last 4 years, let me tell you, I have had no love for the Irish system and how it is working. And I know it's nothing to do with the people in the hospitals and the doctors in the hospitals. They are doing the best that they can with the resources that they have. But the resources they have been continuously and absolutely ostensibly cut time after time after time, to the point where, you know, in a recent look this week, and I've been very active this week in looking into the different parties' stances, because we've only had 4 weeks to assess the stances of each of these parties in this country. As such, I have personally lean towards voting towards a bunch of independents, mainly because while I don't believe they will actually get into power, I can't put my vote behind a Fine Gael, a Fianna Fáil, a Labour or a Sinn Féin vote, considering each of their manifestos, every single one of them, does nothing to further this country and does nothing to further the people of this country who have been continuously and hard hit by every I don't know anybody in this country that hasn't been hit in the wallet in one way or another, in one form of tax, in one form of cut, in one form of anything. I mean, Jesus Christ, and we never get to talk about this stuff online, but like, as a mortgage holder who is continuously in full-time employment for the entire of this period, I'm as fucking broke as anyone else, because all of the money I do get goes to paying, you know, the additional fucking house taxes that have come in, or the additional loan property taxes that have come in, or the, you know, I'm not paying the fucking water charges. I stand on that because that is already covered in 2 other forms of taxation that is done in this country.
We only have to look at the shape of your pull list.
Exactly.
Boys, I mean, if I could give people a piece of advice, it's listen to what Joe Strummer said. Don't, you know, if you're put in a situation where you're given some choices that are unpalatable, use your vote to say what you don't like. Okay, choose something that's unpopular, or you know, if it comes to it, spoil your vote. Go out and fucking spoil your vote. Vote for Dustin. You know, it might seem like, I'm voting for Dustin, but you're making it known that you're fucking, I don't like any of these choices.
The outside candidates are Derek Zoolander and Gowron.
You know, I'm of two minds with Gowron, because on one hand, he smoked the house of Duras, but on the other hand, he is without honour.
Well, there's no Martok posters up, you know what I'm saying?
He's unelectable. It's the one eye, it's the facial scarn, it's that one tooth that's always showing out the side of his out the side of his mouth. It's I wouldn't vote for him. I actually did one of those polls, and I am apparently hardcore anti-austerity stroke whatever you call the other ones.
That sounds Fenian to me, bro.
Yeah, which is weird because the guy that we have involved up here, Flanagan, knows. I can't stand him.
That guy I was at school with?
No, unless you're like my granda's age.
Oh,
Eamon McCann?
No, Bobby, I don't mind telling you, I campaigned for him in a couple of elections.
Did you?
I did.
I wouldn't give him a seat on a bus if he was fucking pregnant.
I think Eamon's a good guy.
Okay.
You know, he's...
And this is why we don't talk politics on the Comiccitycast.
Yeah, let's stop talking politics on the Comiccitycast, boys.
And from that, let's move over to
let's talk about wrestling politics instead. That's eminently fucking interesting.
Okay, well, again, for the 5th episode in a row, when we said we wouldn't talk about wrestling, we're talking about fucking...
Not talk about it. Come on, it's the crack.
Boys. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but fuck me, this fucking company.
Fuck this company.
I think back to this time last year, right?
This
time last year, we were all heading into WrestleMania not knowing what we were going to have, and it turned out to be one of the best WrestleManias we've ever seen.
It
It was as a showpiece. It was a great show.
Go back and watch it again.
I have.
That Sting match was which was the highlight was on a second view and just smoke and mirrors.
Oh, very much so.
But I mean that's neither here nor there. You know, we were in a fairly similar position last year. This time last year, you're right, Kieran. So
here we have a situation where we come out of Fastlane, and Fastlane was, how would you put this?
Pish.
no, that's not fair.
That's not fair. There were two good matches, in my opinion.
Oh, there were three good matches actually.
Okay, three good matches, we'll say. All right. In my opinion, match of the night went to Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler.
I would have said Jericho and AJ.
I would have said Jericho and AJ too, but Jericho's age was starting to show in that match.
Yeah, he's starting to get really fucking.
Jericho's age, eh?
And
that would have been my second highlight match. Third would have been the Charlotte match. It was quite good.
You didn't like the main event then?
The main event was grossly misbooked.
Oh fuck! Well, I mean that's part of the course at this stage.
Yeah, I didn't find it entertaining. I don't want to see Roman Reigns in the fucking main event at WrestleMania. At this point, they are shoving Roman Reigns so far down my fucking throat that I never want to see him again.
Yeah, it's.
Why can't he get injured, please? Can somebody injure Roman? Thanks.
He's too handsome to be injured.
God, looks strong.
It's those piercing blue contact lenses that just make my heart go all aflutter.
Yeah, they are in. Actually, I think they're in a slightly better position than they were this time last year, because this time last year they were only trying to fuck Daniel Bryan, who everybody loved. By the way, that Charlotte Brie match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She comes out, right? Sorry, I was Stuart Lee. Right, come out, Stu. Daniel Bryan. She came out.
He come out. Daniel Bryan.
He was quick. Oh, he's quick like Mercury or Zephyrus, the wind. But she came out, dedicated the match to her husband, Daniel Bryan, who had retired a week before, dressed like Daniel Bryan, did all Daniel Bryan's moves, and lost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What a fucking babyface.
Yeah, but they're building up Charlotte Flair essentially as being the female counterpart to her father.
Where's the payoff? When's this going to pay off? When's it going to pay off? When is anything they do going to fucking pay off? That's the problem. Nothing ever fucking pays off. This Roman Reigns thing has been stretching on for what, 2 years now? Mm-hmm. And it's never going to reach the payoff because the people don't want the fucking payoff that they want. And the thing I'll say about it is that despite all that, we're getting a better match at WrestleMania out of it. The Dean Ambrose Brock Lesnar match is going to be fucking great. It's going to be so good.
You reckon?
Yeah, obviously. No, the angle to set it up on Raw was fucking woeful. It was like a parody of a fucking it was like
everything on Raw this week was a parody of the Attitude Era. It was hilarious.
Everything was fucking terrible. And the Shane McMahon. Oh, here we go.
All right, Bobby.
Here we go.
Yeah, let me paint you a picture, Bobby. All right. Have you heard of the Vincent J. McMahon Award for Excellence that they've been touting the last few weeks? Somebody was going to receive this award. Somebody of exceptional skill, of singular vision, was going to receive this award. The Legacy Award of Vincent J. McMahon. So who could possibly be this person who was worthy of such a singular and distinct honor? Who do you think it would be, Bobby?
Here comes the money! Money! Vince McMahon, obviously.
No. Stephanie McMahon is the one, obviously, who has excelled and it deserves all this stuff, right?
Could you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Could you do me a favor? Could you record you reading like a children's book?
Of course.
It's just the way that you're talking right now. I think the little brown bunny hopped over the fence and he was very tired and he went to bed. The end. I think that would really work for Liam.
You pick a book, Bobby. I will gladly record an audio recording of the book for your boy. No problem. Okay.
No, you were saying, you were saying, right, Steph getting a thing.
Steph comes out to the ring to accept the award, has a wonderful speech prepared, where she's thanking her father and thanking the WWE Universe while getting booed out the fucking building. So midway through, as you probably guessed by certain spoilers, a certain piece of music hits that hasn't hit in about 7 years,
Thereabouts.
thereabouts, and the crowd goes fucking wild. Like, proper
They went
loses
banana?
their fucking shit. It's a solid I timed it, solid 4.5 minutes of Shane standing in the ring while they're chanting, "This is awesome." Holy
Weeping.
shit.
Fucking weeping.
Yeah, absolutely on their feet, chanting multiple yes counts. It's the crowd, without him saying a word, are entirely behind Shane O'Mac. And here comes the work, Bobby. All right. So you may notice if you're looking at Stephanie McMahon in this piece that there's a little bit of chubbiness coming in around the face, a little bit rounder around the bum, little tiny bit rounder around the waist.
Is she upper?
Certain suspicions are there.
Well, here's the other shoot here. And this is a shoot, brother. You know why Shane left the company, don't you, Kieran? Bobby? You know, because I told you off air.
Tell me. I don't.
Well,
he wanted to set up a broadband business, I believe, wasn't it?
No, that came after. Shane always saw himself, his grandfather, Vincent Jess McMahon. Well, because Shane's really like a fourth generation guy. Vince's grandfather, Jess McMahon, was a boxing promoter in like 1915, and then Vincent J. McMahon was his father, and he carried on the family. He took the boxing business and turned it into a wrestling business, and then Vincent Kennedy McMahon, who we know as Vince, came and he carried it on after that. And Shane always saw himself as the successor to that. Unfortunately, Shane's ideas were dog shit. Like, he had no mind. Like, he had the fucking balls to go into the ring and do whatever, and he was like obviously a great performer, but he had no business acumen, and certainly he had no creative acumen. And Stephanie outmaneuvered him. And the straw that broke the camel's back was, if you remember WrestleMania 27, which was in Detroit, it was harkening back. It was like the anniversary of WrestleMania 23. It was like the 20th anniversary of that. And he wanted to introduce Aretha Franklin, who was playing in the ring, in that anniversary thing. And he was told in no uncertain terms, no, you can't do that. We're going to play a video of your dad introducing Aretha Franklin 20 years ago. And he said, well, why is that? And it's like, oh, well, that's what we want. And then after that, they had like a very long conversation, which consisted of him being told that we know you see yourself as being the head of this company once Dad goes, but that's going to be me and Hunter. So he said, I quit now. Goodbye. And he left, and he sold all his shares, and he went off to do the broadband thing, and he was managing, what's the name of that golfer?
Darren McIlroy.
Rory McIlroy, yeah.
Rory McIlroy.
And apparently part of the thing for him coming back is that this stipulation for the WrestleMania main event is apparently partially a shoot. The idea that he has been given back some control of the company again, because apparently the direction is not everything it could be recently for some reason.
What?
By the way, boys, before I forget, and this goes to everyone else out there, if you have not read last week's Wrestling Observer newsletter, the Daniel Bryan career retrospective, holy shit. Go and read it. And if you don't have a Wrestling Observer subscription, email me and you can have my login. Join the Yes Nation.
So, Shane McMahon has taken exception to the fact that Stephanie is to be given this legacy award, considering, in his own words, the stock of the company is in the fucking trash. The ratings are fucking garbage. And
that's so true.
I know. This is the thing. Everything that was coming out of his mouth in that ring, we know to be true. Factually true. But they're turning it into a fucking work. So, apparently, in ring, in story, when Shane left, he made a deal with his father that he may have stepped away, but that didn't mean he stepped out of line in succession. And that Stephanie has only been allowed to go as far as she has because Shane allowed it. So, at WrestleMania, because Vince McMahon insists upon it, Shane McMahon will have one chance to gain control of Raw. But to do it, he's got to beat The Undertaker in Hell in a Cell.
Do you think that somebody at Castle McMahon has finally seen an episode of Game of Thrones and thought, we can have some of that money. Okay.
Surely Braun Strowman would be the mountain.
Fuck.
I think I think this is a case of I genuinely haven't looked at her over the last little while. I think Stephanie's pregnant. I think Stephanie's pregnant, and if they've never mentioned any of her pregnancies on screen before, that she's just disappeared for a while when it happens. The difference between then and now is now she's the public face of the company.
Well, actually, I think it's kind of telling because immediately after Fastlane, they did they weren't at Fastlane. They were in Japan doing the press conference. For Tanahashi.
Oh yes. That signing that went down very well. But yeah, so I think genuinely that I think Stephanie's going to have to step away from on-camera stuff. It would explain why Vince came back in front of the camera for the last few weeks to set up this work. Maybe Shane's just doing his family a fucking solid. I mean, he's still head of I think 5 or 6 businesses outside of WWE, and those businesses are successful. He doesn't need to.
Are they?
This. Yeah, relatively.
Yeah, well, he's like a pioneer in
broadband and digital streaming
in China. He's like the pioneer of bringing that to China, which is the most populous nation in the world. So he's quids in or whatever.
Oh yeah, Shane's completely solvent by himself. He doesn't That's what I found. A lot of the there's always a bit of truth in the fucking shoot, lads, isn't there? Right? Right, and there was a little bit of the fucking truth in this shoot, and that's what I liked about it. And he's still the cocky little prick you remember. And the cocky little prick I always remember him being the likable one of the McMahons.
Look, you know what? I have to say, as fucking stupid as the whole thing is,
yeah, and it is.
I kind of lost my shit a wee bit when he came out in the fucking big fucking goofy shoes and dancing, and I was like, fuck, shit, oh my, good, something different, you know? Because this time
able to do a goddamn Titantron elbow drop.
Fuck, this time 2 days ago it was like, oh yeah, it's Sting. Oh fuck, it's Shane O'Mac.
Boys, look, let's be realistic here. The streak is the streak.
The streak's gone.
The streak's not the streak anymore, but you get the idea. It's the Undertaker's legacy at WrestleMania. We are very aware that every single Undertaker match could be his last. Shane McMahon being the guy
to put down the Undertaker? McMahon put the Undertaker on the map, and McMahon can.
Flanagan, you're better at it than this, right? You're better at me than this.
Yes.
At WrestleMania,
yes.
Give me a brief list of who failed to put the. Actually, you know what? I'll give it a shot. Okay. Triple H couldn't do it.
Twice.
3 attempts. Shawn Michaels couldn't do it. 2 attempts. CM Punk couldn't do it. Big tall fucker wearing a tattooed bodysuit couldn't do it. Kamala couldn't do it.
Not at WrestleMania. Snuka, Jake.
Right? Snuka killed his girlfriend. He couldn't put the dead man down.
Jake the Snake.
Jake a Snake couldn't do it.
Giant Gonzalez.
Jake a Snake Roberts beat heroin. He couldn't beat The Undertaker.
And then you had Giant Gonzalez. You had King Kong Bundy.
King Kong Bundy.
Nash.
Really?
Nash.
Big Show and A-Train.
Nash. Sid.
Oh, yeah.
Sid, who shit himself during the match. No joke. Look it up. Shit himself during the match. During the tombstone spot, in fact. Do you know what? That's not true. I just like telling that story. But he did once shit himself during a tombstone spot. Then you had Kane, the Big Boss Man, in the Hell in a Cell crucifixion match. Triple H, Ric Flair. That match that Kane was talking about with A-Train and Big Show. Although Nathan Jones was also in that. I saw Nathan Jones.
Colossus of Bugger Road.
The Beast of Bugger Road. I saw him in Fury Road. By the way, fucking brilliant. Just absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely fucking brilliant. Then
yeah, welcome for catching up to the rest of the world, Flanagan. Yeah, best movie of last year was Mad Max, hands down.
The best movie of last year was The Lobster.
No, it was Mad Max.
No, it was Lobster.
That was Mad Max.
It was The Lobster.
Mad Max.
It was The Lobster. Duck season.
Max. I challenge you to a Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania, Kieran Flanagan.
I challenge you to watch The Lobster. And then you had 21 was Randy Orton, 22 was Mark Henry, 23 was Batista, 24 was Edge, 25 was Shawn, 26 was also Shawn, 27 was Triple H, 28 was Triple H again, then CM Punk, then Brock Lesnar, then Bray Wyatt, and then Shane McMahon. Shane
McMahon.
Fuck this shit, Silent Bob. Fuck it.
I think it's gonna be fucking hilarious. I have to say, right, in terms of predictability in wrestling, I didn't fucking see it coming.
What's that you say, Vince Russo?
I didn't see it coming.
Oh my god, here's my money! I have no fucking... I told Bobby off air, I'm not coming back to watch WrestleMania with you, Bobby. Sorry, dude. I'm just not doing it. Oh, hang on, it's your birthday that weekend.
It is.
Yeah, I'm still not coming.
That's okay.
It's WrestleMania, boys. We have to watch it.
All right, you're all right. You're all right. Will we get on this? Fuck no. Oh god, I'm so unenthused about wrestling at the minute, boys. Although, having said that, I'll leave it.
No, say it. Let it out.
It's certainly nothing about Samoa Joe the day after WrestleMania. It's certainly nothing like that. They're waiting until after WrestleMania to bring Samoa Joe up. When the obvious match is Brock and Samoa Joe.
Yes.
No, the obvious match is Brock. Well, at that stage, it probably will be. But we'll see. We'll see how Dean Ambrose fares.
That'll be a good match.
What was it? Street fight?
Yep. So then, Marcantonio. Talk to me about Rebirth.
All right. Okay. So, I was initially very skeptical of Rebirth.
As were a lot of people.
Yeah, as you know, I'm kind of a little bit more willing to. All right, let me explain it to you like this in an absolutely this is how.
Oh, thank fuck! Please, somebody explain this to me.
All right, okay. Well, I was gonna explain it to you in terms of a retailer and a buyer's relationship. All right, I have a fairly great relationship with my retailer, Dublin City Comics, and its perpetrator, Doc Houseman.
Hi, Doc.
Hi, Doc, and Doc, who is a good friend and an honest man, and. If this explains how the attitude is towards Rebirth, it's the best way I can explain it. When your comic book retailer is telling you, dude, it'd be a great time for you to just jump off and stop buying all of them. What does that say about the promotion? What does that say about DC? What does that say about their content when even retailers can't get as enthused about it that they're telling people that it might be a chance to jump off? Now, I say this as it was a personal exchange between me and Doc as friends. He knows I'm trying to cut down on my list at the moment, and it's probably not the advice he's giving everybody, but I really listened to it, and it really struck me as being, this is my dude. He's being completely honest with me. He's right. I could save a whole bunch of money by not coming on here. And I was genuinely in that frame of thought for a while, thinking, right, I'm probably going to just jump off DC for a while, let it be, let it see what it is, because event fatigue is fully kicked in me at the moment. I've already done the Marvel chop, and you know what? I've been reading almost no Marvel, almost no DC, bar the core books that I enjoy, which are like X-Men, Batman, Superman, Green Lantern. And I've been thoroughly enjoying reading independent books. Almost nothing but a steady diet of 2000 AD and independent stuff in the last few weeks. And I found it to be a great break away from that stuff. But Rebirth, as it is, got me interested, and it got me interested last week when it started to actually seep out of. I believe the Comics Pro show was on in Oregon. What that is, that it's a retailer show, is they gather as many retailers from around the world as possible and reveal to them what's going to happen over the next coming year. And DC rolled out their DC Rebirth plans, and what it is essentially is a renumbering back to one for almost all of their titles. In some cases, they're going to be shipping bi-weekly instead of monthly. But overall, there will be, instead of the usual number of 52 books going out, there will be on average about 40 books and a rotating number of mini-series that they will do in the old fashion that they used to do.
Am I correct? I believe someone are they reintroducing parts of certain characters' origins?
Yes, there is. And
Okay,
there is a memory rework going on here, and the best title to show as an example of it is the current title I am reading at the moment. I'm 3 issues out of 5 into it. It's called Titans Hunt.
Okay.
And
Kieran, can I just stop you 2 seconds now?
sure, Bob.
You are both on very good microphones. That is, I have seen them and stuff, and you've got a very good audio setups.
Yes.
Myself, I am currently sat with a headset on and a microphone. So I'm going to ask one question. I hope my child isn't asleep. I don't know why I'm modulating my tone like this. I think I'm trying
You're
to
about
match
to get
yours.
loud. All right, okay.
I'm going to take this off to get the microphone away from my face to ask one simple little question. Bear with me a second.
Sure, Bobby.
Is it a fucking reboot or not? And I'm back.
Well, Bobby, in as simple as terms as I can possibly answer it, it might be.
I'm out.
All
I'm
right,
out. I'm
Bobby.
fucking out.
Okay, let me
I'm out.
explain.
I'm
Let me
out.
explain.
I'm
No,
out.
no, no,
I'm
no.
out.
I can be
Right,
more specific.
batter on, boys. This is all you.
Yeah, short answer, yes, but long answer, no, if. What the fuck? Come on, Marcantonio.
All right, the best way for me to think about it is this. They've copped on
To what?
the fact that people really want the old DC universe to be existing in some way, shape, or form. They tested it by doing the convergence. They tested it even further by releasing several titles involving characters from the old continuity now mixing with the new 52. The best way for me to describe it is they're going to make the old universe exist in such a way that it almost mirrors the old DC in the form of a post 1984 Crisis universe where you had Earth 1 and Earth 2. On Earth 2, essentially, and people are very familiar with these concepts now because of the TV shows and stuff like that. It's a lot more easy to say Earth 1 and Earth 2 to a commonplace fan now, as opposed to somebody who would be a hardcore DC Comics reader back in the day. All right.
Oh, what a load of shit. The idea that they couldn't fucking differentiate between Earth 1 and Earth 2.
Oh, but there's at any given point it was confusing to jump into DC continuity because there were so many different Earths and it was hard to get a grasp on for any incoming fan. I fucking fully appreciate that. 20 years deep into continuity now, it's not hard for me to do it. Before
Could you get a grasp of it?
Yeah.
I got a grasp of it. Bobby, did you get a grasp of it? Earth 1 is different to Earth 2.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it's going to mirror the structure of previous times. In that back in the 80s and 90s, you had John Byrne's Man of Steel. That was the reboot of Superman post Crisis, and that established that there was another Earth out there that contained a Superman that was essentially the Superman of the Golden Age. Well, they've advanced that another generation essentially now, and the Superman of the post-Crisis universe is now in the current New 52, wearing a different suit, living out his life with Lois Lane and a child in secret for the last number of years. And this is going to come to the forefront in that both Supermen are going to meet. And that is going to happen, I believe, in Action Comics 50. And that is going to be one of the major jump points. But the best way to explain this simply is they are going to reboot certain parts of the continuity to include greater parts of the DC universe that were there before. If you're reading Titans Hunt, it's the greatest indicator of it because right now the story behind Titans Hunt is in the New 52, the Teen Titans were always Tim Drake and his band of Teen Titans, okay? But it turns out, shock and horror, that the original Titans that everybody knew, Dick Grayson, Starfire, Donna Troy, Roy Harper, these characters were actually a group of Titans in the DC New 52 universe, but on their final mission, they did something that erased all of their memories and erased a villain because of it. And because they are starting to remember, this villain has returned.
Is it Dr. Light?
No, it's not Dr. Light.
Is it Pennywise?
They haven't revealed who the villain is.
Is it Pennywise?
It might be Pennywise, Bobby, yeah.
Yes!
But it's a pretty good story. I'm enjoying it. I picked up Titans Hunt because I wanted to read it because I like the original Teen Titans. I was never too sold on the new version of the Titans. And the idea that they're going around reforming the team because each of them is beginning to remember this thing and because of it, reality is beginning to crumble around them it's a good idea.
So it's not because they need money because the orphanage that they grew up in has a massive tax bill?
Yeah.
That's why they're getting the band back together.
A lot of the New 52 is really fucking excellent.
The New 52 continuity will still exist. The main universe going forward will be the New 52
Yes,
universe.
they
It will
just
include elements
they
of the
just want the more money making elements of the old one.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, I look forward to the new Blue Beetle series with the fucking real Blue Beetle. Was
Real
that
Blue Beetle has been in Justice League 3001 for about a year and a half.
Can I?
Was he in the year 3000? Is he back now?
No, but that continuity is the future of this.
Yeah, but I want the fucking present of this continuity. I've had it up to here with you, fucking Marcantonio, when you're anti-Blue Beetle and fucking Booster Gold bias. You,
I'm not against Blue Beetle.
fucking
Booster Gold's a shitheel, but
You
Blue Beetle's pretty cool.
He reminds me of someone I know.
I know, right?
Look, from this one single argument. No, sorry, this spirited discussion.
This
is
different agreement.
This difference of opinion, and asking about like all of the details about like, what in 3001? No, he's on Earth. No, he's on. You mean pre-Christ? Look, this is my problem. This is my problem with DC, and the way it seems to be. The DC universe.
No problem when Marvel do it.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it when Marvel do it either. But at least they are. I'd say they're more consistent. The DC editorial seems to be basically cyclical, right? It's like fucking.
How would you know? You don't read any.
It's like fucking. Look, just even.
Are you saying he's wrong?
About it. It's like Ragnarok. Okay, these things.
No, that's a Marvel story.
No, these things happen in cycles, is what I'm trying to get at, okay? Right? We have all this stuff. We have your Earth 1, your Earth 2, your,
whatever.
Everyone goes, this is too fucking complicated. We need something simpler. And then they go, right,
time.
Here's something simpler. And then people go, oh, great, this is manageable. We can do this. Let's tell some stories. And then they go, oh, I miss Earth 2. Whatever happened to Justice Society? Oh, no. What happened to Justice Society? Well, bring back that 3000 shit and
Darren McKay.
Oh no, right. Sorry. Well, right. Bring all the stuff back. Bring all the stuff back. Bring all the stuff back. And then it's like, oh shit, this is too complicated. I want something similar. I want something simpler.
Bobby.
And they get something simpler, and then they go, oh, I miss Earth 2. Oh no, this is shit.
It happens in both houses regularly. They just literally everything you just described just happened to the Ultimate Universe.
Ugh.
Yeah, because everything that they thought worked in that other universe, they integrated into their main universe, right? Just like Bobby just told us.
Yeah, except they did it a little bit less clumsily.
They did do it. It happens at both houses, and let the first house who has not done a reboot throw stones.
Oh, that would be 2080.
Exactly. But Rebirth for me is, you know what? There are a couple of elements of it I will read. I will, of course, read Superman. I will, of course, read Batman, because regardless of what state of whatever continuity is in, I will generally read those stories unless they're by fucking Neil Adams.
It's like that, is it? Boys, did we haven't talked about Deadpool.
I talked about Deadpool.
He did, as did Neve.
She loved it. She does
love it.
I have to point out that I inserted that into the episode wholesale without listening to it because I don't want to. On this one occasion, I didn't want spoilers, so
just flying blind. Love it. You know, I fucking dug Deadpool. I think everybody. I haven't heard somebody who didn't dig it.
Yeah, it was a really. I went with our good friend Dennis, who passes on all his love and respect, gentlemen. He asks after you.
We love
peace
him
and love, peace and love.
He fucking loved it, and he laughed like a drain throughout, even though his lady wife-to-be was not impressed in the fucking slightest. I asked him, what did you like so much about it? And he said, oh, it was a fucking great movie, because it had a beginning, a middle, and an end. Now,
not necessarily in that
they
order.
didn't come in that order. It doesn't need a sequel, which means it's guaranteed to have like 5. But, and that,
hey, we're going to get an X-Force movie out of this. I'm fine with it.
What he compared it to was, he said, it reminded me of the Terminator, in that it was the perfect self-contained movie that didn't need anything after it.
True.
Yeah.
True.
In its current state, it's perfect. Well, not actually. Whoa. it's a perfect story. The film was not perfect. It was great. It was really good, but it's not fucking perfect. And also, read this. Oh, it's a game changer. It's a fucking game changer. No, it's not a game changer. It's just a fucking different way to make money. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it. It was a
Yeah, no,
really.
this
It
sort
was.
of, as for this, the response to it, which has been, now everything needs to be R-rated and will make money from R-rated. I'm sorry, but that's not the case.
No, I believe
When
that for like.
correct,
I believe
yeah,
that for like 2 seconds. It lasted the weekend, and then it went. Hold on. Rational response.
let's look. And here's something we could discuss that I think would be a bit fun. Let's discuss properties that we do think could work if correctly managed in an R-rated capacity. And I'm not just talking Marvel or DC. I'm talking Image. I'm talking any comic book property that could be adapted into an R-rated film because that is the right environment for it to inhabit.
Okay.
Any,
Scud, the disposable assassin.
left field, man. Well done.
You didn't think it'd come up with that, yeah.
Hitman?
No,
Hitman.
no. Hitman was designed by its very nature to be a PG version of Preacher. Read it. It's the structure is there. Everything is there. It's
But
just
for Hitman or say a Section 8 movie to exist, it really would need to be R-rated for the adult humor to come through.
I don't think that Preacher is going to work as a TV property.
I think it can only work as a TV property. If I may, we actually have an example here, right? Because the reason I brought this up is I had a usual Friday night movie night in the house the other night, right? And we made the choice to watch R-rated to pick only from a list of R-rated comic book movies. All right, and out of a list of several, the one that got voted in and the one that got the most votes, right, was Punisher Warzone. And I hadn't seen Punisher.
Nice.
I hadn't seen Punisher Warzone in quite some time. Now I like it. I always liked it, but it was, and here's why it struck me. Right, it was really. I just recently reread the first volume of Garth Ennis's Welcome Back, Frank. Because I wanted to read it in advance of Punisher coming into Daredevil. All right, and it has that wonderful exchange with the chains and the gun and whatnot. I just wanted to reread it, so I have a nice absolute edition of it. So I read it, and the boys voted in Punisher Warzone. And as I was watching it, it struck me that it's the most Garth Ennis film for its humor, for its over the topness, for its any, as you say, anything can happen at any moment. It's actually almost all like in spirit, and I didn't get this the last time I watched it, but I definitely picked up on it this time. It very much so is in the Garth Ennis mentality.
Well, Spacker Dave's in it, isn't he?
No, that's the other Punisher movie. Each one adapted elements. I'm talking about the Ray Stevenson Punisher.
No, not the one with Diesel.
No, not the one with Diesel. The other one. The one with Billy the Beaut.
Do you know what? I mean, this goes back to the center of any discussion about Garth Ennis is that his best work is when he's not being Garth Ennis. When he's working on somebody else's property, and I think that seems to speak to this one. Yeah.
Well, it actually made me really enjoy it even more. Like I already enjoy the movie. It's in my mind up until now, it's the best Punisher we've seen.
Well, actually, logically, the boys would be fucking brilliant.
But this is where I was going. Something we landed on and discussing is the boys could really work. It would have to be R-rated for certain scenes between even, and that series has some of the most human scenes of any superhero story out there.
But some of the most fucking inhuman scenes as well.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh holy fuck! I suppose like an adaptation of The Authority would suffer by the same.
I was really hyped in that. I got onto imagine an Authority movie. Imagine a Stormwatch film. These ones that are out there. Constantine, it's hard to do. It's proven now at this point that Constantine is straight up hard to do. So we moved away from that, right? Lobo. That you better believe that's coming. That's if DC has a natural answer to Deadpool's success, it's got to be Lobo, and I'm all for it.
I'm sure. I'm sure Simon Bisley's very excited as well.
I would love a Lobo film, a true Lobo film. That'd be great.
Uh,
But like other out there choices, Declan Shalvey's Injection. I'd love to see that as a film right now, and that would need no rating. Or
fuck's sake, sex criminals.
Sex criminals, man.
There's no way you couldn't do that. I would. That would have to be a TV show.
Needs more jizz. Bring more jizz in here. Hi, Liam.
He heard you.
We're playing a song.
He's not enjoying himself at the minute.
Oh
What's
no!
Wrong? What's wrong? He's upset that they're not adapting witches or trees.
I refuse to take him to see Deadpool. Which actually was gonna just to get off the topic a wee second. Well, actually, still on the topic. R-rated movie, Kieran, in America. You went to see it.
Yes.
What was the place like for 8-year-old boys?
It was we went on. We were booked in to see it on the Monday of President's Day, which guaranteed a full house. But of course, we were snowed in because of the blizzard. So I went on the Tuesday after that, when there was me and Dennis and his lady wife and 3 other people. Boys, I will say this. I see no issue with. I know people are protective of this. I see no issue with kids seeing a movie like Deadpool. I saw.
Really? With full frontal riding?
Boss, I saw fucking An American Werewolf in London at the age of 6.
It explains a lot.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's wait for all the fucking evidence to come in before we make such, blanket statements.
Yeah.
For my, I believe it was 10th birthday party, we rented out The Running Man on VHS.
Yeah.
I think I turned out okay, but let's wait.
10? What was wrong? What?
Yeah, it was like an idiot.
I snuck into The Lawnmower Man in the cinema.
Oh, you dog!
Oh yeah. There was a cinema in the square, right, in Tala. So lacking was their security that you could get a ticket for a movie and then spend the rest of the day sneaking into other movies.
Yeah.
And yeah, I must have been what was year was Lawnmower Man? 92?
92, yeah.
Thereabouts.
Right, so I'm 9, nearly 10. I fucking see in there. And there's all sorts of things happening with these lady lumps that are on this lady's chest, and yeah, I turned out all right, right? Yeah, okay.
Boys, I saw. I don't know if you know the township of Gweedore in County Donegal, Kieran Marcantonio. Very, very, very small village, but there was a cinema there at one point in the 1980s where we were dispatched, me and my brother, who was 8 at the time and I was 6, to see Delta Force, whilst my mum and my uncles went to the pub. But it was alright, because halfway through this fucking slaughterfest, my Uncle Joe came and brought me a club orange and a packet of Tito cheese and onion crisps. So that was all mitigated.
Tito?
Right, all the proper Tito.
I have no problem with children seeing R-rated movies. I just don't want to hear their parents bitch about their poor choices after the fact.
This is a very good fact, Bobby. I personally think that Deadpool would be a bit out there. If I'd seen it when I was ridiculously young, God knows what would have happened to me. But, I think movies are generally tamer today.
Hold on a second. It just occurred to me. I have never pulled this card before. Yeah. Excuse me a second while I get my
as a parent.
While I get my
He's gonna whip it out, everybody.
While I get my Deadpool wallet
ready?
Here, opened up.
You're welcome, by the way.
As a parent myself,
yes.
I would not let Liam.
Liam is 6 months old today.
Liam
would not be able to. What point are you making here? My child who can barely cognate would not enjoy this.
I will not let Liam. Oh shit! It's 2016. Say 2007. Maybe 2018.
Join us.
I will not let. I am not going to let Liam see Deadpool 4. How's that?
Oh my God, Bobby, you are. I think Dennis Bailey summed it up perfect to me when he said that's the best butt fucking scene I've ever seen, and that was the best butt fucking scene I've ever seen.
When she did Reynolds in the book.
Yeah. I would say American History X, but
I don't know, man. I watched a lot of Oz.
Semi-consensual, but fucking
did you
true.
say semi? Oh God.
There's your
Okay.
joke. Right, let's
The
move on.
funniest, the
Let's-
funniest
let's-
anal sex joke ever was the bit, the American History X scene is like afterwards. Ben Sisko is going to visit the Incredible Hulk, and you
I love
see
the way you do that now.
you see two stitches in the Incredible Hulk, or sorry, in Tyler Durden's eyebrow, and Ben Sisko says to the doctor, "Oh, how is he?"
Jambalaya.
And the doctor says he took 6 stitches. Four of them were up his ass.
We have fun,
Let's-
don't we, boys?
Well, this went a certain way, didn't it?
Who would have
So yeah, R-rated comic book movies. They have existed before. They will exist again. Deadpool is just a wonderful example of one that has been marketed right and sold right. Red had the marketing campaign that Deadpool had, or we'd been having this conversation 2 years ago.
Yeah, or that we were having this conversation about Dread a year from now, which would be fucking,
But I'm really not comfortable living in a world where Fox are the good guys in this.
Man, you know what? Fox were due a win, and
God.
Fox they had a good in my mind. X-Men First Class and Days of Future Past are good. They were good X-Men movies. Not to say the X-Men 1 and X-Men 2 were good X-Men movies. X-Men 3 and Wolverine Origins were not good X-Men movies. And when you kind of stack it up like that, they've done more good than they have bad. Let's not talk about Fantastic Four. Let's not talk about Daredevil. Let's not talk about some of the poorer adaptations they had when they were first starting out, because everybody had shitty adaptations back then. They were doing really badly for a while.
Well, last year.
Not even well, I'm talking about the other Fantastic Fours, but yeah, that one too.
They were okay.
What I'm saying is
at least they made money,
Yeah,
well, there was interest.
We are hitting a stage of fatigue. We are hitting a stage of the fans of these films are demanding a higher level of quality, or at least a standard of quality. And Deadpool 100% delivered on every front. It was a good film. It was well acted. It was, a funny fucking movie. It was a wonderful action piece. The CGI fucking held up. They took at least 2 Marvel properties that they shouldn't have really had in that movie, and they got away with it.
Oh, you're talking about Hydra Bob and the Heliciller, the Hurricane.
Yeah, I made a noise unlike I have ever heard come out of me when he went, "Bob?" And I went, "Oh, is it?"
And they he made a Sam L. Jackson reference that they are did as well.
Oh yeah, like they've. Well, that's everything. That's what I'm saying about this movie. They got the nature of Deadpool and they made it work for them. I mean, a fourth wall break inside a fourth wall break, for fuck's sake, lads.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Or that one about wanking himself off with the wee hand. That took me back to my favorite Jeremy Beadle joke, which I'm sure you're all aware of it.
I'll go on.
Well, have you heard about Jeremy Beadle's cock? Well, on one hand, it's massive. Boys, I have to fit this in here before we go on to the next thing, but on the last episode I mentioned the ARG for 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yes.
If you go to the website funandprettythings.com, there is a survival simulation game there that is so much fucking fun. You have to go and get it.
Kieran,
Yes?
what did he buy her for her 13th birthday?
Ice cream. It was ice cream.
Ah, motherfucker! Should have guessed
Bobby,
that.
if you go to... Have you been following that?
I briefly, and it was like, I can't.
It's too hard. It's too hard.
It was like, I can't do this, which meant this is fucking stupid. This is beyond me, therefore it's fucking stupid. I'm not playing anymore. That's what I did.
Go to cloverfieldclues.com where they've got someone posting all the findings of it. They had like all the there were 5 trailers posted along with Deadpool, and in each of those 5 different trailers there was one single film clip that people had to pause. They had to record it in the cinema and then pause the film for one frame and it had like two numbers in it, which led to like two GPS coordinates, which they had to put together, which somebody had to then drive to a fucking mound of earth in the country somewhere to dig up a box that had like loads of jigsaw pieces and also two flash drives that had a video of John Goodman saying, "Oh, you should go to this website and try this game that I've put together," and the game's fucking brilliant.
Kieran,
Yes.
unless you get controllership of Willy Wonka's chocolate factory out of it, that's too much effort.
Well, go to Cloverfield Clues and click the link.
No. No, fuck off.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Just let them, no.
We'll just go to bed and enjoy sleeping.
No, I don't get to do that.
Okay, well, do you want me to send you the link, like in a private message? It's a good game.
Oh, okay.
There might be a prize for the game, Bobby. I don't know.
There's a prize for the game?
Yeah, there's a prize for everything. Oh, like the ARG is tremendous. Batman, the Batman Superman trailer that I saw before Deadpool.
Yes.
Was absolutely fucking fantastic, and for the first time, showed me like the scope of what could be done. Now there are a lot of people are saying that a lot of people saying a lot of stuff. Firstly, they're saying that there's too much stuff in the fucking trailer. It tells you the whole story of the movie. Bollocks.
Yeah, one of those people was you.
Let me just, in total, right, because I've done the fucking maths, we have, between all trailers that have been released and all promos, we have 7 minutes and 16 seconds of footage from a 2 hour and 31-minute film.
Yeah.
There's a lot we haven't seen and has the runtime to fit it. I'm optimistic because I fucking love that universe and I want to see it work. I'm optimistic because did you fucking see how Batman moved in that last trailer?
That was fucking fantastic.
That fucking yes. Yes it was. Just I think I liked Man of Steel as is well documented. I think that this is going to work. I think that we're going to get a Batman that is closer to comic book Batman than we've ever seen. That has been evidenced just from what little footage we have seen of how he moves, how he acts, how he fights. Very reminiscent of the Arkham games, which are some of the best-selling games on the planet. I think it's going to work, and that last trailer really, really did for me. Kind of, I wish they just released that one first because it had such generally it seemed to have a very positive response online as opposed to the other trailers. Mainly because that first opening piece with Batman is just fucking Batman glory. It's lovely. It's wonderful.
Yeah, Zack Snyder seems to have his Batman down right. And I've said my piece on his Superman, and it's open to interpretation, but his Batman looks fucking superb.
And they have now announced the start date for filming on Justice League. That is April 11th.
There was this fucking article that came out last week. It was like, it can't make money. What a load of fucking bollocks. It has. Of
course it's going to make money.
It has made all its money before the film ever fucking came out through licensing.
It's very similar to Star Wars in that manner. That's why they were already able to apparently the budget came in at roughly, at the moment, last reporting, 400 mil.
Right. Can I refer everyone that's listening to this to the Mark Kermode book, It's Only a Movie, Chapter 4, talking about Waterworld, why it is absolutely inconceivable that a film can lose money in this day and age. Now, I'm not saying films don't, for example...
Underperform.
They underperform. For example, you're not going to like this, Karen. Mad Max Fury Road underperformed. Okay? It was a massive critical success. It was a minor commercial success. But it made money. It made money. And it made money theatrically, which is why there's going to be a sequel to that. Something like Fantastic Four made no money theatrically. In the long run, it will make money because of licensing and because of TVDs and whatever. But it's close to impossible for a film to fucking lose money. Now, Batman Superman has already made its money. It's a fucking... I sent you a message when I was shopping in the mall there in Washington, D.C. on Sunday there.
Yeah.
And I said two things: Deadpool is everywhere, Batman Superman is everywhere.
And I saw no Batman Superman material then after that.
My battery died, and
You bastard.
I
I love you. Thank you for the Deadpool pants.
they are fucking so snug.
Now,
Copy.
people have been saying that what is Warner Brothers going to... Can we start shaming websites for talking just utter fucking nonsense?
Oh yeah, when this rumor stuff came out the other day, it was one of the first to kind of go, this is pure unsubstantiated rumor. And I am not, like, there was a thread, usual Facebook back and forth between people, and this time around, it was very easily shut down by lads. This is a rumor. This is not being reported by Warner Brothers. This is not being reported by someone at Warner Brothers. This is being reported by someone who rumored to have heard it from someone at Warner Brothers who's decided to write an article to put online because it's fucking clickbait.
It's usually from moviepilot.com.
Yeah,
or Batman Superman movie news.
Yeah, oh, like God. I hate the nerd shame, but it always seems to be some wee... You just certain websites, you just imagine some wee prick living in his parents' basement. This isn't going to make any money. Of course it's going to make money.
Yeah, Batman and Superman is going to make money. So much so that they've already greenlit Justice League. And the whole rumor of, oh my God, the whole DC slate may be in trouble if Superman Batman doesn't make money. So far planned ahead at this point that it is not a stoppable machine.
No, it's going to happen. It can't be stopped.
It's like Marvel are going to keep making movies because they've gone so far into the fucking green on this one that they don't need to worry about. You know, they can do weirder stories now. They can do stranger things. They can literally Doctor Strange, because they've made the money already on their what was it? An article I read recently. They only needed to make a certain number of million on Avengers, and the next 4 movies were already bankrolled out of it. It's the fucking golden age of cinematic comic book adaptations, be it on TV or in movies. It is. We are living in the new golden age. The golden age of comics happened back in the day, and the golden age of comics being embraced by the mass media is now. You are living in it.
Yeah, the golden age of fucking comic creativity and the golden age of comic sales are two different things. This is the golden age of fucking making your money off comics. It's not the golden age in the sense that innovation in comics, characters being created. It's a very different thing.
What I'm saying is it's golden age in that there's more quality cinematic and television adaptations. That there's more quality comic book TV shows on and in the movies, and it is more accessible to people now than
there ever will be.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
you're living it. To stop shit healing, yeah. And with that comes there's a certain amount of crap too. Of course there is, because not everything can be fucking Daredevil. Not everything can be fucking. You're gonna have a Lucifer for every Daredevil. You know what I mean?
Boys, did we talk about iZombie?
I quite enjoy iZombie.
Oh, I was so fucking disappointed. I love the comic of iZombie, and it was just like...
It's procedural cop show iZombie.
Yeah, it's like, could you go down to the pawn shop and get us some Buffy the Vampire Slayer there? None left. What have you got? Oh, zombies. Great. On the flip side, I finally fucking watched Supergirl. And that was like, could you go to the pawn shop and get us some Buffy? What did you find? Oh, it was Buffy. Great. It was fucking brilliant. Supergirl's great.
I literally watched the last episode just before I came on here.
So I literally watched the first episode on Saturday. Really.
Yeah, it's
really nice.
Have you gotten to the John Jones stuff yet?
Well, I watched the first episode, so yes, but no.
No, you haven't. Not
well,
at all.
I have, yes, but no.
Oh, yes, a little bit.
Yeah.
It's
all right. I don't worry about spoilers. I read up on it.
Yeah,
I was.
Henshaw, you say?
Yeah, that's clever. What's that, Maxwell Lord? But he's a white fellow. I'm enjoying Supergirl. I think it's very, very.
Yeah, no, Supergirl's been pretty solid all the way through. And initial early episode, and there is some initial early episode CGI missteps is learned upon and improved upon very quickly as that show progresses.
Yeah, I was a bit upset that Ally McFuck was on there playing Cat Grant.
She does it well. I fucking generally hate her. As a hateable person, that makes Cat Grant very believable.
Do you know why I like her?
Why?
Because I don't like her. If I could use my New Day argument, right?
New Day sucks.
It is not her job to get over. It is her job to get her opponent over. So as soon as she becomes popular, then she's not doing her fucking job.
Touche, Bob.
New Day sucks.
New Day rules.
New Day sucks.
New Day rules.
Anybody watching The Walking Dead since it returned?
Yes.
What do you think?
I watched the most recent episode. I watched the most recent episode there just tonight before I went out for a couple of hours to take Liam out of the house. Jesus is my Lord and Savior.
Yes.
I haven't seen any of it, but I did get I got the loot crate, this month's loot crate yesterday, and there was included a Daryl necklace soap and a rope. Which is just as amazing as you can imagine.
But why are you still getting loot crate?
It's linked.
I mean, I do get that it gets to feed your sense of altruism. In fact, that you give half the shit away.
I
But
give
on the reverse side of that,
100.
you give half the shit away.
I give 100% of the shit away.
But what? But why? Why get it if you're going to do that?
I like to get shit.
Just you just don't
Two
like to
reasons.
keep-
Two reasons. One, Bobby, I like to get shit. Two, I like to give shit. Oh, by the way, if you're Chris Duck, Fred Fletch, Wayne Talbot, Stephen Mooney, keep an eye on the post box there.
Ooh, hang on. You have Fred Fletch's address.
I do have Fred Fletch's address, yeah.
I would like to purchase this from you.
I think he's moved, actually.
I don't like the idea of him having
corporeal form.
No, yeah, exactly. I just thought he was like the lawnmower man.
He only exists in the internet.
Yeah.
Fred Fletch is as real as you or I, Bobby. We need
Realer in a lot of cases.
Yeah. Shit gets real with Fletch real fast.
Oh dearie me, boys. It's getting on the time to finish up. So have we got anything to plug? Marcantonio, you have an in-store coming up, do you not?
I have multiple things to plug. First of all, there is this episode, by the time this episode goes out, it'll have happened already, but there's a discussion tomorrow being held by the Mr. Very Handsome Stephen Mooney.
Hi, Stephen.
And it
I
will
hear
be
he
taking
plays
place...
a millionaire at parties.
I hear that too. Just give me 1 second. Let me bring up my events. Okay, so we have what's called Bread and Butter, which is spreading the word on design. Haha, see what they did there? And it's being held in the Odeon, in the Old Court Street railway station in Harcourt Street in Dublin tomorrow. And it is described as this. Do you like comic books, love superheroes? Then don't miss this month's Bread and Butter. We're proud to host talks from visual effects artist Kieran Crowley and comic book artist Stephen Mooney. Kieran has worked on films like Inception, Iron Man 2, The Dark Knight, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, to name but a few. Stephen is a writer and illustrator of Half Past Danger, and has worked as an artist on a number of different DC Comics titles. This talk is a must for all comic book and visual effects fans. It's a free event, and it's taking place tomorrow at 6:30 in the Odeon, as described. Then on Thursday, there's lots of comic book things happening in Dublin this week. We have Acid Cane Comics presents Women in Horror. Now, just let me read out the event details on this. It is taking place on the Rocks on 8 Coke Lane in Dublin on Thursday at 7 p.m. And it's described as a night of comics and rock and roll to celebrate Women in Horror Month 2016. Acid Cane Comics are hosting their first comics live music crossover night. In the interest of fostering connections and boosting the respective scenes, we're getting the comic creators and connoisseurs of Dublin together in an atmosphere of drinks and rock and roll, with new comic releases from Acid Cane and Claire Foley, as well as entertainment from Kate's Party, Glass Gears, and Solid Gold Rocket Ship. For posterity, ACC are publishing an anthology of work under the theme of Women in Horror, and it's €10 at the door, and everybody who goes gets a copy of the anthology. So it's a rock and roll night, it's a burlesque night, it's a release of comics, and it's a celebration of women in horror. I'm really looking forward to it. It's being hosted by, I believe, Sarah Louise Elliott, and it's really coming together well. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a good event.
Well, let's get that up on the Twitter before this episode
yes.
goes out. Yeah.
I believe I shared it over the weekend, but I'll throw it up again.
Yeah. Bobby, you have various things to plug that are going to come out, too late. So, Masons is on this week again. Yes.
Next week.
Yes. All right.
Can I plug shit?
Go for it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be doing stand up in Derry on the 3rd March.
Yes.
3rd of March? Yeah, Thursday the 3rd of March. MC Mickey Bartlett, Peter Davidson, Terry McHugh, somebody else. It'll be the crack. £5 in the free shot. There you go.
Bang.
Bang. More bang for your buck.
Boys,
One last thing I'd like to plug. Friend of the show, Beck Hill.
Rebecca, our good.
Yeah.
Our friend of the show, Beck Hill, has a new show coming up on Sky One, which is called the DC Fancast, and it is going to be essentially it's going to be the British outlet for the DC Comics TV and movie universe entertainment.
Beck Hill is now the host of The Talking Dead. The DC Comics Talking Dead. Are you familiar with The Talking Dead?
I am not.
HBO, after The Walking Dead ends, immediately after, they have
Nerdists.
Yeah. But
that guy.
Yeah. So congratulations, Beck. Beck has been like a long intertwined with this podcast and with the Comic City and 2D cast and the 2D festival. So I'm really fucking proud of Beck.
Congratulations to her. It's going to be a great show, and I'm really looking forward to taking part in it. And she's putting out calls on her Facebook page for people to come and be at it. So can we go? Can we please go?
Well, it's in here, so
I know. You have a bed I can stay in, right?
Yeah, of course.
DC Comics, man. I'm fucking there. Bobby, you're not interested, right?
Of course I do.
Fucking when's International Men's Day? That's what I want to know.
It's November the 22nd.
Or Marvel equivalent.
Marvel Day?
When's the Marvel show coming out? Aye, that's right. Aye. Tell me that, Rupert Murdoch, if that is your real name. It's all right, I'm over it. I'm really not, but whatever.
Really not. We will be back in exactly 2 weeks when we will be recording on my birthday.
Ooh.
And we will leave here with...
Hold on. I'm sorry. Marcantonio, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Ooh. Damn it.
I didn't know what you wanted me to do.
Fine.
Okay, let's go again. We can do this. 1, 2, 3.
Ooh. Your birthday, you say?
Yes.
Old Man Flanagan. That's what they call him. They call him Old Man Flanagan.
Oh, fuck off and tend to your son.
I intend to.
Okay, good. Anyway, in deference to something that was cut from the last episode, this is the theme music to the Golden Girls. Thank you for being a friend.
Goodbye.
Thank you for being a friend.
I could go for some fucking cheesecake right now.